what's good, everybody? It's your boy Truly Malice, and I'm back at it again with another video for you guys. And this time, we're going to be talking about K-pop idols and how much they make. So a recent article came out talking about how much the top 10% of K-pop artists make, and it was disclosed that the top 10% make 89% of the total revenue for all the artists of 2016. Now, this does not include actors. This only includes people who classify themselves as musicians and artists. And of course, I know a lot of people might be like, well, of course, the most popular acts, the most popular groups are going to make the most money. Of course, they're going to bring in the big bucks. I mean, that's literally how the world has always been. You know, the top 1% of this world, all the billionaires and trillionaires out there in this world. I don't really think there's a trillionaire, but I mean, there's a lot of, billionaires. They can literally pay off and end world hunger, but they don't. That's just how it is. Now, to bring it all back in, there was about 4,500 artists who pretty much declared their income, and we got to see a breakdown of their revenue. And from the charts, it was showing that pretty much the top 10%, of course, were making the most money. But when we go down to pretty much the other side of the field, these idols were making less than 2/3 of the minimum wage. Now, minimum wage in Korea is literally like $5. And when you're over here in the US, especially if you're living in New York City like me, which just had the minimum wage bumped up to $11, you can see that, wow, it's not a lot of money that's being brought in. So when we bring in the numbers and we see that these idols are literally making $8,000 a year, sometimes a lot of people will question if it's truly worth it. There's been a lot of articles in the past beforehand about how poor a lot of the idols are, and a lot of idol groups have talked about it as well. AOA, a group that you guys know I love, they didn't start making money until after 3 whole years into their promotions, and that's when they finally reached their break-even point. And a lot of people have to understand that to develop an idol group takes a lot of money, and it's of course it takes time, but it's all about the money at the end of the day. You got a group that's about to make their debut called Luna, right? And the group, to pretty much produce everything, costs $4 million. Well, you can basically say that these girls aren't going to see nearly a dime. I mean, unless their contracts have them, earning some type of money. And I believe there was a new law that says that idols have to make some type of money while doing it right now. But for them to pay off the debt of $4 million, that's going to be a very big feat. That's definitely going to take a lot of time, especially because they're not going to be debuting until later on this year. So you can only imagine for a group like Luna, whose upstart cost was $4 million, how long it's going to take for them to actually start seeing some real money, some real cash out here. Now, if you're just comparing that, these artists are basically celebrities as well, and these celebrities are making $8,000. That's not a lot when you can compare them to other jobs, especially in South Korea. It was brought up before that some supermarket workers and people who have regular jobs are making more than idols out here. When you just look at the surface, that these people have been training all their lives, and these people are doing so much promotions, and at the end of the year, you mean to tell me that these idols are really just getting $8,000 for that entire year? Some YouTubers are earning over $20,000 to $30,000 a year just off making videos and everything like that. Of course, you have PewDiePie, who is like the ultimate outlier of everything, because he made like $7 million last year YouTubing. But just to give some people a better perspective, 1 million views is almost the equivalent of having $2,000. Now, of course, a lot of other things go into it, like ad revenue, but if we were just to take another YouTube channel, like say Leafy is here, or a channel that pretty much gains 100 million views a month or so, that they're pulling in 6 figures, guys. These YouTube channels are pulling in 6 figures. So my point in saying this is that YouTube has really become a place for a lot of K-pop idols that eventually open up these channels. And I mean, this is another major reason why companies, of course, have started to go towards YouTube. I mean, even Korea's own music show system are using the views that these groups get during their music video promotions and everything to count towards their score. YouTube has become that type of platform, as well as Naver has, with their video sharing platform. And it just amazes me still to this day that, you know, K-pop idols, of course, are making this less money. Like they're making this much money, and this much money, what I mean, $8,000 in the spectrum of a career, you know, in the beginning isn't a lot. And the fact of the matter is, with these groups that have over like 7 to like 12, 14 members, you know, all of that's being divided. And, you know, there was an article earlier this month about Cosmic Girl where, you know, if they could ask their CEO one thing, they asked their CEO for more food. Like, because they're in a large girl group, you know, the food portions and the budget to feed them is low as it is. So when you have idols who are asking for more food, like this is really a major issue. And of course, with the market for K-pop being so oversaturated with so many groups that you guys don't even know of, you know, especially the battle to just get on these music shows. I don't know if you guys know this, but there are at least 200 groups that apply to be on these music shows, and a lot of them basically don't get through. And if they do get through, then their stage is cut short, you know, because you know, these music shows want to put the best acts out there, and of course they're going to have favoritism towards those who come from, you know, companies, you know, even if they are a very small company, as long as they're charting, or as long as they made a debut, or if they have connections, then they'll be on these music shows and whatnot. Now, this conversation can go on and on and on, but I want to know what you guys think about this and, you know, these findings. I mean, this really isn't new, but to just keep on hearing that things haven't changed yet, you know, that's still kind of shocking, you know, that there still hasn't been better systems, you know, especially to get these K-pop idols better treatment and more opportunities to get money out here. You know, these girls and these guys are pursuing their dreams, and I mean, quite frankly, if you're an idol or celebrity, you should technically be making a lot more. But yeah, at the end of the day, let me know what you guys think. Do you find this shocking? Do you not? Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section down below. I'm truly Malice, aka Michael Subscribe, and I'll catch you guys with another video next time. Y'all already know. Deuces.